I'm so excited to be hosting another one of these behind the scenes for all you fine folks. We had an amazing time with Where Has Samuel's Shadow Gone? That was the first book and movie in the series. This is called Sam and Duke's Incredible Adventure in the Sky. It's the second book and the movie's coming out very soon. So to go behind the scenes, I wanted to show you first of all how I made the airplane. I went to a dollar store and I bought a pitcher. I bought a dish drying plastic big flat surface, and that's what I cut out all the wings with. So as you can see from the photos, the pitcher underneath was kind of the main part of it, and then a little measuring cup in the front. I also used Dixie cups. All of it was repurposed materials that I found that I also used. From Amazon, I bought the propeller and the wheel assembly. So the entire thing was probably about $25. I had the spray paint, but spray paint would have cost, I'm guessing, maybe $14 for 3 cans of spray paint. I had a light gray, a dark gray, and a nice kind of crimson color. So anyway, you can see the plane in action in one of the scenes there. Here's how I created the wind effect with a powerful fan. I took photos of them with that background. There's, from the side and from behind to get that wind blown effect. And some images like that one I just showed from behind, I took individual strands of hair and moved them. Right here, I'm showing you how I cut out some of the images and cleaned them up. Like on the wheel, for example, I selected around it and then erased it wherever there's little pieces of things that would get in the way. And you'd have edges that didn't look very great, like on this wing and on the wing tip. So what I did was selected around that. I'm pretty slow and deliberate. I know there are tools out there that can speed up the process a little more, but they don't get the fine detail like I like it removed, or to make it look as best as it can. You can see there I erased it. There's the plane in the final scene from the movie. And this next thing I'm going to show you, I had this beautiful cloud that I took a photo of a cloud, but it happened to have an airplane streak through it. So what I do is I found a way to cut the cloud and then stretch it and pull it over the top like that, like so, and then set it back down right above that amazing cloud that was hanging low. Then I just went back underneath and erased it. There are so many different ways to fix clouds. I know a lot of the software out nowadays can do it, but a lot of times the decisions it makes are not the best, and I usually end up just doing it myself because I like to be old school and try to problem solve and fix problems my own way. Here you select on the outside of an image. I'm going to show you how I blur, and it's called contract. What it does is it'll select the image and then go inward a few centimeters, and then I flip. What I do is I make the image on the outside blurry by just a little bit, and it gives it that really nice soft edge. I'm also cleaning up edges as I go. I'll see little pieces that I don't like sticking out. I'll cut them, and then I select that area since I'd already blurred it. Usually you want to do the blurring last, but that's my little trick. I'll select around the edges that I fix. Here I was cutting out the grass to make it look like it had edges. That river was a river, but what I did was I cut pieces of it, because see that little section you just saw, some places there the river wasn't even showing, so I designed a lot of it. Here I wanted to get out the roadway, so I was using the rubber stamper And what it does is it takes an exact copy of certain places and it'll move it that same place over. Right here, I'm going to place way in the background behind that bridge what I thought looked like a better, more attractive, far background area. And then you see the water, of course, doesn't match up. So what I do is I take a rubber stamp again and I get water from the foreground and move it slightly into the background. And it gives that illusion of, now it's blended and the water changes color as it goes further back. And these are pictures I took of the river and the bridge over in Twin Falls. And a friend of mine took the drone photos of downtown Boise, Idaho. And that's what you see on the left-hand side. They're kind of blurring out right now, but those are in the book and the movie. And that plane you just saw, when I can't get the sunlight that I like, I create my own. There is a really nice tool in Photoshop where you can select where you want the darks and lights only. Right here I'm getting a shadow made for the plane, and as you saw, I just took the shadow from one of my images that I had taken and then cut it out, and I have desaturated it and took the contrast off because it was a dark blue. And then I erase the shadow around those edges and get that down, but it gets the shadow of the plane that was in one of those images. And here it is after finishing all that work. So that's a great way to place shadows. Okay, so here we are. This was one of my favorite scenes in the movie. And I wanted to create a little bit more sunlight coming through. And it's really simple how to do it. You can even just use the color you want in a layer and have it very bright and paint it like a yellow or an orange, and then you erase where you want the sun rays to be. Also, here is to give a ghost image. I've always loved that when you see a blur of like a car or a plane. And what I did in this page, I made it several images, and then as you take them back and move them, you make them more blurry, and you also take the opacity back so it's a lighter image. Here I've got clouds. A lot of these images, I'd have the clouds moving from right to left or left to right, but see how it's a long cloud. So that way in the background during the movie, I can have clouds moving right to left. And I'm going to show you, here I am cleaning it up and attaching clouds from different pictures. I find an area that matches up, then I erase around it, and then I even paint in maybe dark or light to match so it doesn't look so like right there. There you go. Now that cloud's ready, and here's an example of one of the background clouds with movement, and I pull that around the background. Here I am working on the kalimba and the soundtrack.
We most certainly
it's not
can
in sync,
fly,
but you get the idea.
if we try.
Here's a side view creating a spinning prop. What I did is I took several photos and I'd move the prop a little bit more, and then all you do is attach those and then go in a higher speed, and there's a prop from the front. So as you look at all the images throughout the movie, that's pretty much how I did that. But thank you so much. The first tutorial I did had a lot more explanation about how I filmed the scenes and other behind the scenes. So this one I did a different take on that and showed you more of the actual using Photoshop to cut out things. But thank you so much. I sure hope you watch both the movies, Where Has Sam Shadow Gone and Sam and Duke's Incredible Adventure in the Sky. I'm going to keep these series coming, and I'll also always try to do a tutorial of how I've done things. So thanks so much. If you could please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, I would be so grateful. Hope you have an amazing day. Cheers.